And welcome back to What If Naruto Had Swift Release, Part 2. And you know, I'm using a different thumbnail. I found this thumbnail, which I thought actually was a good representation of Swift Release. But obviously, it's Naruto's QB mode against the Raikage in the scene. But let me know what you think. I'm going to just use it for this one video, and then let me know in the comments below if you preferred the first one or this one. Also, two quick things. One, someone asked if Naruto could more easily learn the Chidori, particularly because he has a lightning chakra in this version. And that comes down to the idea that because of his speed, he doesn't get tunnel vision. Well, there's no actual proof that someone with swift release doesn't get tunnel vision. The reason you get tunnel vision isn't simply because you're going at extreme speed. It's the fact that you're going in a straight line with extreme speed. I think Naruto could still suffer from tunnel vision. He just doesn't have the eyes for it per se. Because just having super speed doesn't mean your eyes and your mind can process how fast you're going. But because Naruto can move in any direction very fast, I don't think the tunnel vision thing has ever come as an issue for him at this point in time. Is that to say that Naruto couldn't learn Chidori? No, he just have to probably figure out a different way to use it. Maybe using, if and when he learns Sage Mode down the line, and knowing how these stories go, he probably will learn Sage Mode. That could be an easy way to compensate for tunnel vision he could still get from that because of how Sage Mode makes you extrasensory. As for someone else brought one other thing, and this is just a minor comment on, and it was just their opinion. They stated an opinion basically where they thought that Sakura certainly wouldn't kill Naruto in that scene, whereas kill Naruto now or Sasuke dies. That he didn't think that she'd definitely kill Naruto, but they made the argument, I assume it's he, maybe it's a she, that she might at least consider it because there wasn't that moment where Sakura saw Sasuke be rude to her, or Sasuke was kind of like mean to her. And I think that's misinterpreting the scene. That had nothing to do with her feeling for Sasuke. I think that had everything to do with the fact that they were fresh genin, particularly Sakura of the three was the most green of either of them. And when that scenario came up, they were completely flabbergasted and surprised. So I think that's really what that scene comes down to. Anyway, though, I digress. So moving on to the aftermath. Obviously, the two actual guys wanting to be strong shinobi keep practicing their abilities. Sasuke keeps working with his Sharingan. Naruto keeps practicing to get faster and control his speed a bit more. Also working with his clones in the mix too, as he did against Kakashi. Then most of the missions go without a hitch, including the Tora missions. In fact, if anything, Naruto's swift release would probably be great for the Tora missions, speeding up the process. Ultimately, Tazuna would show up. He would they would basically hire them, or he would hire them for the mission. And nothing really would be changing in this scenario at all, leading all the way up to Zabuza. You'd still get the Demon Brothers attacking. Naruto would still most likely freeze up. Sasuke would handle the Demon Brothers even more effectively and tease Naruto for it. Naruto would obviously get injured because he just froze up in combat like that. He makes the vow, his hand starts to heal, and they're going through the village going through the mist. Nothing would ultimately change until you get to Zabuza approaching the group. And him introducing Zabuza. So you know about us. I get to see the Sharingan in action. This is an honor. The Sharingan, wait. And Sasuke thinks that hears that. He's like, wait, what is he? And sees that Kakashi has the Sharingan. But it only appears in a few people in my clan. Wait, does that mean... so we had a stand... And so he goes on the water. The Great Mist, we had a standing order in our bingo book to kill you on sight, ninja. Leaf Ninja, and so he creates the mist. Now, because Sasuke does have the Sharingan, he can see through the mist. But unfortunately, I don't think anything changes in terms of how he actually initially reacts. I think he still freezes up like he does, just shaking in his boots, basically. And then Kakashi's like, Sasuke, I will not allow my comrades to die. You have my word. Too bad. It's over. And Sasuke, even though he could still technically see it, just like Kakashi could, Zabuza gets him from Sasuke, who still has inexperience compared to Kakashi. And Unfortunately, the swift release is more about movement than reaction, so Naruto can't throw a swift release punch. Now, maybe that could be advancing the release, the ninjutsu style further, but ultimately, Naruto can't throw a swift release punch. It's about your actual movement, at least as far as it's depicted. But Kakashi gets in there, stabs the clone, turns the water clone. Kakashi turns into a water clone, and then he gets caught. And here's where we finally, and then Zabuza comes, cracks Naruto in the skull. Sasuke tries to attack and even surprises Zabuza at one point with the fact that he copied the water clone jutsu as well, and Zabuza sees the Sharingan. He has, so you have a Sharingan too, 2 of them. Could you actually be an Uchiha? I thought they were all extinct. Well, it'll be fun and then it'll be a little bit more fun killing you, boy. And then obviously Naruto finally stands up after Sasuke gets blown back. It's like, hey, you, the freak with no eyebrows, put this in your bingo book. He never backs down. His name is Naruto Uzumaki. Now, the big difference here is that even though Naruto still gets blasted back by Zabuza, Zabuza knows that he rushed him. He actually had to really react to that. Like, high Jonin right now and up, or mid Jonin and up, are still individuals who could keep up with Naruto as long as they're properly trained, which Zabuza certainly would be. But they would still acknowledge, this kid's fast. What the hell? And so Naruto gets his headband back. Let's do this. Let's take this guy down. And so Zabuza goes into his story. It's like the demon of the mist. Without a sound reason, he approached the class and killed over 100 students. It felt so good. Just boom, just collapsed Sasuke pretty hard. Only for Naruto to do Shadow Clone Jutsu. Oh, Shadow Clones, and there's quite a few of them. Once again, though, they pull out kunai and Shadow Uzumaki's in Naruto style. Yes, or Naruto, or Swift Release Uzumaki Barrage. And Zabuza admittedly actually reacts a bit more out of instinct. I can't keep up with all of them. And he swings and cuts through a bunch of them, but ultimately gets a couple kunai in his back. And the clone dissipates. And I have to admit, that kid's pretty impressive. And the Chia brat ain't bad either. But still, it's a shame they're going to have to die here. And, finally Sasuke pulls out the Sharingan. Unfortunately, most of the clones get blasted back thanks to Zabuza. A couple of them stab the Zabuza clone before getting, thrown back. Naruto does the whole trick. And this would be something that's interesting. Because Naruto would still do the Shadow Windmill Shuriken, Windmill Shuriken, what was it? Windmill of Shadows. It was a Fuma Shuriken, ultimately what it was. What the damn... Demon Wind Shuriken, Windmill of Shadows. That's what it was. Or Demon Wind Shuriken. So, he just throws it. But the question is, could Naruto, in theory, activate Swift Release while transformed to basically super speed up the Shuriken? It's a fair question, and I would actually say yes. The reason I say yes is because we do see in the brief clip with the character who actually had Hiraku was the name, when he basically blitzes Sakurai, he's doing it in midair. So he can move and use Swift Release in midair, which means that Naruto should, in theory, be able to use the Swift Release as the transformed Shuriken. So initially, he's just approaching at a decent speed. Is that the best? And all of a sudden, it speeds up. It's like, what? And he actually gets cleaved in his arm pretty good. Doesn't lose his arm. It's like, ugh, but his arm's kind of like just done for the moment. Just, what the hell was? And then gotcha, and just throws the kunai. And Zabuza just blocks it with his other hand. It's like, you brat, I'll destroy you. As he caught the first shuriken, and then Naruto was the second, obviously. But then Kakashi comes and pretty handily beats him even more effectively than he did in the original, because Zabuza is now down an arm. So it ends with him being just washed up on the shore, Haku basically taking his ass out, apologizing, and takes Zabuza away. So everyone is surprised, and Naruto is miffed that, someone just came and stole their kill. It's like there's some people like that, and this people like that, and so Naruto just kind of bitches and moans a little bit, but then obviously Kakashi says, in this world there are people younger than you but stronger than me, so save your energy for the next opponent. Now we still have a mission to do. We still have to get the bridge builder to his bridge. Passes out, and they wake up in Tazuna's house. Tsunade and Inari there. That whole storyline almost goes down verbatim, with a few exceptions. One, both Sasuke and Naruto do have some better chakra control because they've been practicing more with some of their jutsus, but it's not by a large margin. Sakura still is the best among them. Having the smallest reserves, I think it helped. Again, people argue this point with me all the time, and we know there's evidence to back it up is the thing. And like people argue about the whole idea of more chakra means it's harder to they argue against the idea that more chakra means it's harder to control. But the problem is we have evidence and I'm not saying it's hard fact, but we have very good evidence to explain why that is the case. Again, the tree walking training. Sakura got it down like that. But it's stated she had the least amount of chakra between them. She probably already had the best chakra control among them. But the fact is, she has less chakra. It is the concept of basically, if you were to say, if you were to somehow be able to hold air in your hand, like a ball of air, and you wanted to control it, well, it's easier to control a smaller amount of it. But if you have more air, you want to like try to compress it and all that and control it, well, it's harder to hold a larger amount of something. It's harder to keep it in check and control it. Sasuke was the other example of that, where he clearly had better chakra control than Naruto, but it was not the same level as Sakura. Sasuke was also said to have more chakra than Sakura, but Naruto was said to have more chakra than Sasuke. And this is why they progressed the way they did. Granted, Naruto and Sasuke were rivals, so they pushed each other, but still. I just find it interesting every time someone tries to argue this. Like, the evidence is very much there. But people are like, well, no, Naruto had bad chakra control because the fox was constantly melted. He said, no. That's not why he had bad chakra. That's why he may have continued to struggle with his chakra control. But if that were the case, he would have always had bad chakra control. Because the fox, until he and the fox really got along, the fox's chakra was always melding with his chakra. So he wouldn't have had better chakra control when he came back from the 3-year time skip. So it's like the argument's invalid because the Kurama's chakra is always melding with him. It's up to Naruto, between the chakra he has, the chakra he's gaining, to try to control the chakra he has and to keep up that level of control with training. Does that make sense? Because I know, even though I'm arguing, I'm explaining this as best I can, I'm going to get people who try to argue against this with me. I'm like, it's pretty clear cut. I don't know. I feel like I'm being a little harsh when I say it like that, but I'm like, it's interesting because I just feel like it's very well explained and people try to argue it. But people try to argue a lot of things sometimes. And I'm not just saying I'm not saying like viewers, I'm saying people in general. Anyway, I digress. So the chakra training goes about the same, little quicker for Naruto and Sasuke, but that's it. Haku still ends up meeting Naruto in the forest because he still has that blow up on Inari. And one of the big things will be actually that Zabuza is aware of how fast Naruto is. He's aware that Naruto's a lot stronger than he is in the original. So he says, Haku, you're going to be the one to take out that boy. It's like, yes, Zabuza. And so Haku goes to meet him in the forest. And obviously he grows to like Naruto. And you can see there's a lot of, they have a lot in common. So the day comes where they go to the village. Naruto's still passed out from training. He wakes up. He leaves he still probably goes and ventures off, but he finds the boar cut up, and because he has swift release, he's able to get there pretty quick. Takes out the samurai, no problem. Meanwhile, back at the plot, Sasuke, because of the Sharingan, he tells Haku, "Don't mess around with the boy, Haku. He has that one's speed might rival your own, and the other one has the Sharingan. We don't have time to mess around." And Haku still tries to say, "You won't be able to match my speed, please." Please. And Sasuke laughs about this. And then Zab says, "You're stop messing around. I'm sorry about this." And then crystallized mirrors. Now, Sasuke is fast enough to at least dodge some of those needles, but he does not have the reflexes to avoid it all. Got a little smear from my dinner on my glasses. Yeah, that's better. He's not fast enough to avoid it all. I think we can agree with that. He just wasn't Haku's speed level. Reflexes maybe, but not speed. His Sharingan gives him a little bit of an edge, but I think he's still getting Senbone in him every now and then. But Haku is like, I can manage your speed, unfortunately. And here's where I'm going to be a little adapting. I wonder, all of a sudden, not Senbone, but the water around them, again, especially from this, starts to solidify and turn into water needles, and they freeze. Like, I wonder how many of these you can dodge. Hidden art. Ice mirror needle. And then Sasuke's like, huh? And Naruto, but then obviously the kunai comes, hits Haku, who grabbed it from Sakura trying to help. The needles come down. Sasuke's able to avoid a couple, but he gets a good couple in his shoulders, like, ah! But then they melt, and he pulls it out, and they melt, and he's bleeding, but he's still alive. Naruto comes, him and Haku square off. Sasuke tries to attack him. He's like, I haven't forgotten about you, not for an instant. Sorry, Naruto, but we're gonna have to postpone our fight. And Naruto's like, what? And then he just merged back into, what the hell? Now, unfortunately, Naruto is still very much Naruto, so he still goes inside the mirrors. He's like, you idiot! And then obviously Haku forms the mirror ice needle again. Only this time, with Naruto there, it's like, Shadow Clone Jutsu! It's like, and then he speeds through there as Haku is trying, as Haku has the needle summoned. And Naruto actually is able to reach the mirrors quite a bit. He's not able to do much. He's kind of stabs and cracks them a little bit, but that's about it. And they just reform the cracks. But Naruto is just like, damn it. And then Sasuke is throwing out the fire style jutsu. Naruto using the shadow clones, blitzing again. This time Haku actually has to come and attack the clones individually, but Naruto's reflexes, because of swift release, are enough that he's actually able to have in midair fights. Haku, clearly being the better fighter of the two, is still in this case is able to match most of the Narutos, but because the Naruto's not aware he's unconsciously getting the experience of the clones, because the Narutos have their own fighting style. The minute Haku gets to a couple of the more the remaining Naruto's able to grab and just start actually wailing, smack Haku pretty hard. And then the other Naruto's come in and just boom, start ganging up on Haku a little bit, who's able to use the Senbones to just pop the clones, only for a fireball juices to come. Haku barely evades, but he gets a burn. Just, you two are very formidable. And I won't be, and Haku notes to himself, I'm not going to be able to keep this up. And then finally Naruto's like, and it's like, I've had enough of this. It's like, Naruto, what are you going to do? I'm going to try something new. It's like, something new? And so basically, he makes a large amount of shadow clones, and they all have windmill shuriken. It's like, thought this when we fought Zabuza last time. It's like, he just fired. He basically literally launches a bunch of copies of himself as the windmill shurikens at Haku. And Haku tries to stop him, only for him to be like, I can't stop these. Wait, these aren't shuriken. And then all of a sudden the Naruto clones come out and just boom, because they're still launched with momentum, just boom, and actually are able to crack the mirror. Granted, they don't have the Hibi's chakra, but because the mirror is so hard, Naruto basically, the clones at least end up breaking their hands and then poofing out. But Haku's like, they're coming in too fast, and a couple of the shurikens just embed into the mirrors, cracking them in half. Sasuke's like, fire style Phoenix Flower Jutsu! As Haku tries to avoid, he gets hit by a legit flame just in the gut. And he's just on the ground. His mask falls off. As they're just Naruto's huffing, Sasuke's huffing, and Naruto finally says, "It's you? Wait, Naruto, you met this guy before? I met him in the forest. You were just lying the whole time too." It's like, Naruto, Sasuke, please just finish it. Kill me. And Sasuke, first is like, sure, fine. It's like, no, Sasuke, wait, hold on. It's like, Naruto, come on. It's not worth it. This guy's the enemy, and he's more than that. I mean, why? Why did you do that if you're just gonna trick us all? And Taku's just like, I was happy. Zabuza saved me. He made me useful. Are you not going? And I'm your enemy. Is it not your job to just kill your enemy? It's like, but it's not right. And so and the debate goes on. And at one point they almost convince him. At least Naruto does. And Sasuke even is like, look, not every day we meet someone as strong as you. Come on, I might have this idiot as a rival, but I need some smarter competition. Hey, you shut it! And Haku sees them. He smiles. And unfortunately, because of Haku's mentality a lot, not every time, he's not going to survive every time. So he just smiles and goes, I wish I could have met people like you back then. But this is for the best. Please, just kill me. And they both just have these looks. Now, unfortunately, I don't think Naruto's going to do it, because Naruto was doing it for Sasuke. But this is for Sasuke because he also had a dream. He was prepared to do it. But, Sasuke is definitely a little bit more hardened than Naruto in this regard, so he's more willing to do it. But at that point, Haku's eyes widens like, sorry, but a change of plans. I'm not ready to die yet, and he just disappears. And obviously takes the Chidori for Zabuza, or the lightning blade for Zabuza, the Raikiri. And Zabuza, I knew I found a treasure when I found you, boy. He's going to cut through the gate to get to me, and obviously that fight ends, and obviously Haku's dead. Zabuza's arms are shot. Sasuke's still okay. He's not dead. In which Sakura and Sakura sees Naruto and Sasuke. It's like, Naruto, Sasuke, you're okay. And it's like, and they both sigh. And Naruto still, I think, by the way, has a crush on Sakura in this version. But thanks to meeting at least Hinata and maybe being at least somewhat chummy with her in class, what's the best way to put it? He's got a crush on her because Sakura's one of the only other girls who gives him legitimate attention, but he's also not as tolerant of some of her abuse, I think. Don't get me wrong. It's not like he's like, no, stop it. This is not, no. He's not like that. But, like, if she maybe calls him out for something stupid, he might actually question what she, like, again, when we get to it, when she says, a ninja, that's so twisted. I could see this version of Naruto saying, like, hey, look, it's okay. I mean, we're kids. I mean, we might be ninja, but we're still kids, and it's important to have some fun now and then. And what better way to usher in the next generation than to help him out? Like, I could see him saying something like that more than being like intellectually like ripping her apart. It's like, what's your problem? Like something like that. So I could see him doing something like that. Point being is that Naruto could still be like, it's like, yeah. And Naruto being a little exasperated, is like, oh, come on, I did a lot of I'm hurt too, but okay, fine. Just ignore me then. Obviously, Gato comes onto the bridge, and you get the Naruto ripping into Zabuza. Haku lived for you! He died for you! He only wanted to be your tool. And does that mean if I become as strong as you, then I'm going to be, then I'm going to treat you like that too? That's so wrong. That's so wrong! And then obviously your words cut deep. Deeper than any blade. And see, while he fought you, his heart was breaking in two. Haku was always too soft. He felt kindness and sorrow and guilt. Now curse him, I feel them too. And something else. I feel this is the end. And a cat cut your tongue. Are you so surprised to see that I'm human? Even shinobi are human, although we choose to try to hide it. We fail, or at least I have failed. And then obviously maybe arguably one of the best scenes of that arc is, boy, give me your kunai. And they just come in and just blitzing a bunch of guys with just the kunai in his mouth. Still was an awesome, one of the best deaths of Naruto. Easy. With just the guy going out saying like, I'm taking as many of you fuckers with me, including you, Gato. Oh yes. I was like, no, I'm not joining Haku. I cannot go there. No, it's the other place from you and me, Gato. Yeah, for you, Gato. You and me both. I hear there are many demons down there, many shapes and sizes. Oh yes, I should fit right in. You are our wife here. You're in for a very long and painful eternity. Like I just love that stuff. Great stuff from the early series. It wasn't like no part of the series was ever perfect. There are parts of the first series I wasn't always a fan of, and Shippuden definitely had its problems. But I overall liked both series. And as I've stated, I'm not really a fan of Boruto. I have watched a little of it. I've definitely read and kept up with some of it, but I'm not a fan of Boruto. Anyway, I kind of just prefer to think that, hey, it ended with the last movie and maybe that Boruto movie, and there, you're good. So everyone's all good. Anyway, but I acknowledge it exists. I'm not one of those people who just buries my head in the sand on it. Either way, though, the rest of the town shows up. They scare off the villagers, and they bury Zabuza and Haku, ultimately naming it the Great Naruto Bridge. And all's well that ends well. So that is part 2 of what Naruto had Swift release. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know if you like this thumbnail or the previous one I did more. I kind of like this one more because it actually illustrates speed. But understanding that this is QB mode Naruto, just let me know what you think. And then I'll probably, of the suggestions, I'll probably pick the, I don't know, maybe I can do an image poll. Maybe I'll do that. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.